Rabbi Shlomo Brin is a rabbi in Yeshivat Har Etzion in Gush Etzion. His father survived the Plashov concentration camp where he was during the Holocaust together with his own brother and father. One day, the family is sitting in the concentration camp, and Rabbi Brin's uncle is crying and sobbing, and his siblings ask him, "Why are you crying?" He says, "I'm crying because I'm going to have to eat chametz this Passover, because the only thing I can survive on is bread, and it looks like I will not be able to have matzah this Passover." His siblings told him, "Yeah, but why are you crying now? You know, we violate Shabbat every day. We eat pork in the soup, whatever little there is, every day. And this principle of pikuach nefesh, of making sure that your life is before everything else, takes a great deal of superiority in Judaism. So why would you cry about this prohibition of eating chametz more than about violating Shabbat, eating pork, etc.?" And he answered them based on a midrash. The midrash tells us that when Shlomo HaMelech, when King Solomon married many wives, and when King Solomon assembled a lot of wealth, the book of Dvarim, the Torah, came to God and he said, "I'm no longer relevant because I have stated in me that a king may not have many wives, may not get much gold and silver, and so I am no longer relevant." And his Rabbi Brin's uncle wondered, he said, "Why is it that of all the prohibitions in the Torah, this specifically is the one that came before God? Surely, when people violated Shabbat, worshipped idols, and many other sins, why is it that then the Torah didn't come and say, I have now become irrelevant?" And the answer is because when someone violates Shabbat, there's always someone else who will keep it. When someone breaks a mitzvah, there's always another mitzvah to be kept. But if there's only one mitzvah that I keep, the brother said, if the only prohibition that I'm able to abide by is no longer Shabbat, it's no longer not eating pork, then all I'm left with is Passover and not eating chametz on Passover. And I'm crying because even that one last mitzvah that I was able to hope for, that I was able to hope that I would abide by, is no longer going to be kept. And so indeed, he ended up eating bread, and he was heartbroken that even this mitzvah was taken away from him. He ended up perishing in the Holocaust. His brother, Rabbi Brin's father, survived, and his children and grandchildren live in Israel. But it's such a powerful reminder that sometimes what we take for granted, the ability not to eat chametz, the ability to just avoid bread and crackers and chametz for 8 days a year, that's something we should never take for granted, and we should remember the sacrifices that were made by those who did attempt to keep that. May all the Divrei Torah that we're saying be a remembrance and a ilui neshama for these special people.